Here's a hypothetical. What if you, yes you magnificent bastard, have a specific champion's kit and use their abilities in real life? How well would you do? You can skip ahead to this timestamp if you just want to get on with the champions and their abilities and figure it out from there, but I do highly suggest you stay and listen. With that said, things to keep in mind. Number 1. You'd inherit every ability of a specific champion, which includes their auto attack, passive, basic abilities, ultimate, and any transformation abilities. For auto attacks and abilities that require having an item or weapon, a spectral copy of that item or weapon would be summoned and would persist for as long as necessary and can be dispelled at any time. Kind of like how Silas would turn into the champion whose ultimate he is using, but in this case, only the weapon or item. You'd still be you. Number 2. No lore is considered. We'll be basing the ability applications to the matches only. Number 3. You'd be the only person with special abilities in the world, and it's for everyone to see. Number 4. As far as targeting is concerned, the abilities would work in real life how it would theoretically work. You'd be able to grab anything you want with Rocket Grab, for example, even though you can't grab rocks or this thing in the game. Use your imagination pretty much. Number 5. We'll only be considering the noteworthy effects of these abilities applied in real life. This means that we'll be ignoring the damage numbers. For example, Nami's Aqua Prison would simply encase a target in a water bubble for its in-game duration and won't cause pain on the quote-unquote enemy upon impact. Number 6. With that said, expect a lot of abilities that only do damage to not be rated too highly. Yes, having a powerful laser burst fort or throwing a large spear sounds badass, but how often would you use that ability in a world where you're the only one with powers? Not much. Number 7. All abilities would be in their max level, and the ability's cooldown would be its in-game cooldown. All your abilities cost no mana. Number 8. Human beings are considered champions, animals are considered minions, and houses and buildings are considered structures for the sake of targeting. Number 9. The making of this video started April 12, 2020, patch 10.7. That's a lot of rules, but this should give us a more concise understanding on what our limitations are. I'd love for you guys to follow along and brainstorm which champions kits you'd want to have in real life. Now, I won't talk about every single ability, of course. I'll just be picking an ability I feel is the best in the kit, with a rating from useless to must-have. Anyways, let's do this. World Ender would have a higher rating if it still had a revive, but as it stands, it's limited flight for a few seconds. Charm would probably have its uses, but it's too socially indecent for the most part and lasts too short. Spirit Rush can be handy for hectic kitchen operations. Having pretty much a knife at all times is really good, if Boy Scout ever taught me anything. Twilight Shroud would be the coolest, but at the same time, most disruptive way to go into stealth and would get you arrested at subway stations. All of his abilities would be broken if you were a football player. Why would I even need his abilities if I can cry on command already? Also Spider-Man. Ice Wall would be fun on snow days, but the passive's the real winner here, as it essentially gives you as long a life as you want. All you need to do to die is to shoot yourself while it's on cooldown. That's kinda dark, let's move on. Tiber seems like he'd be too unwieldy and violent, and the rest of her abilities seem a bit too destructive. Her auto attacks, on the other hand, are pretty much long-range targeted lighters, really good. Picking the gun itself, not to shoot stuff, but to have a cute girl commentate my life. Being able to send a little bird to a faraway area to essentially have a vision of what's up sounds like it would be fantastic, but since everything is recorded now and the clairvoyance doesn't last that long anyways, I'm going to have to duck this one a bit. Still, it has its uses. His stars would be annoying, and it'll be something you have to deal with hitting your friends constantly. Comet of Legends is easily the best in his kit, as it literally makes you fly. Unfortunately, it's only in one direction. You can't change it while in the air. I'm putting all his basic abilities here. You can't really make the Sand Soldiers do your homework and shit. They're not Mr. Meeseeks, but you can do some cool swish-swish moves with them. His passive's pretty good, cause you'll have these little boo-boos follow you around, but you'd have to collect these thermos-looking things. I'm gonna have to give it to Magical Journey for the easy elevator anywhere. Having pretty much an extendable arm has been my dream ever since I was a Turnip bud. All of his abilities seem too destructive and fiery. Like, I don't want to hurt my mama. His auto attacks are like a shorter versions of Annie's though, so pretty good. It's between jumping on your homies or fridge door. I think I'm gonna go with saving them homies' asses for the better of the two. The snap traps would be useful in getting rid of like rats. Hookshot, hands down, come on. Fuck it, Snake body. You get thicker and thicker with every person. Animal you eat up to 6 times. Pretty cool. None of his abilities are really useful unless you fought in Vietnam in the 1960s. I guess Valkyrie would be my choice though. Just make sure nobody eats the bombs below. All of his abilities kind of suck for doing anything other than chopping wood. In which case, his ultimate, I guess? Ultimate, to pull in those homies for the group hug, you feel me? Godlike regeneration abilities. You're literally immune to cuts, wounds, cancer, pox, corona. All of his abilities are useless real life wise, honestly. The axes are way too big to be used in any meaningful way. I mean, you could run a bit faster with Blood Rush, I guess. You know what else allows you to run faster? Leg Day. An undo button for life. This is literally what everybody wants. I'm gonna have to give this award to transforming into an actual spider. Shoutout to Rappel for going upstairs fast, and Cocoon for tying your shoes fast. Demon Shade is great if you don't want to be detected in a public place, like if you're a teacher and don't want your students seeing you. It is camouflage though and not invisibility, so your cover will be blown if you get too close, but until then, pretty good. Arcane Shift, easily. You can go through walls, like, do I even have to explain how useful that would be? I'm going with Terrify. It's not that useful unless you're being mugged, but having a jump scare in your pocket is some power. You can block surprise head slaps from your asshat friends, then stab them with your sword. As much as I'd love to summon a shark at my nephew's birthday as a fun party trick, I'm going to have to go with being able to avoid foot traffic. Hero's Entrance sounds good on paper, but I don't want to destroy my company building and the immediate surrounding every time I use it, so I'll probably just go for Hawk Smash, honestly. I would give my left kidney to be able to pull oranges from thin air. Pretty much the same as Dr. Mundo's, but it is slightly inferior because you'll stop regenerating in a fight. Kind of sucks that you can't control when you go all King Kong mode. The best ability doesn't even really matter. Just be thankful you have the almighty power of spawning barrels of Budweiser that can cure cancer. Pretty good, considering you won't need to be in America to easily have a double-barrel shotgun. The other abilities aren't the best, but Devastating Charge is pretty good, so you get to your local Whole Food market in a timely manner. Having security robots guard your front yard and backyard sounds cool, until you realize that they shut down whenever you go to work. I don't think Nagakabarus would approve of what I use those tentacles for, but yeah, I'd go with being able to pull my friend's soul to fuck around with a bit. I just found out now that Irelia doesn't have her tenacity anymore. I don't play Irelia, so I wouldn't know otherwise, but anyways. I'd honestly go with her floating blade things for her best asset, cause you'd have 6 floating knives all the time. It kind of reminds me of Hawks from Boku no Hero. As much as I'd want to fuck up my asshole neighbor's lawn by spawning as much grass as my cooldown allows, I'm gonna have to go with having the most badass ride to work ever. Her autos would be a portable fan pretty much, which sounds cool, but I feel that your arm would give out after a while. I'm not going with Howling Gale or Monsoon because... So I'm going with Tiny Bird following you around forever. Also ghosting. I could have picked having a cool shield on command, but terraforming just seems cooler. I'm pretty sure having a lamppost at any time has its uses. The hammer and blaster are a bit too big for them to be particularly useful. You can place an acceleration gate at a narrow path or something, I don't know. The gun is small and really cool looking, so that one easily. I can shoot cans in my backyard like in his Recall. Exploding roses are a close second though. You get, check this out, 2 guns. The Mark II dash combo for me is the winner, though it is still a bit too situational. It's really good if you're like a cop and you're chasing down someone, I guess.
Here, hold this.
The pact is made.
Sentinel would be a home security system with a screamer. Speed boost for you and the boys is always sweet. I'd say staying alive just long enough to say one last goodbye to your family is much better than killing
Literally every human being in the world.
You can just throw the rest of your kit in the trash. Rift Walk has a short enough cooldown to be used for both going through walls and traveling faster. Godlike. Shunpo is not quite as good as any other blink, considering you can only teleport to your knife or a person or animal. It is still a blink, so it gets a high rating. Intervention sounds great on paper, but I can't really see myself giving the best ability to something that isn't curing AIDS. You really want a loudmouth demon living inside you? I don't think so. You can't trigger electrical surge without hitting someone with electricity, by the way. Also, I wouldn't want to short-circuit literally everything in my house whenever I use anything in my kit. If the evolved wings would actually make you fly, then it would get a higher score. As it stands, the kit is limited, sans jumping high and invisibility. I have to give the best ability award to saving your friend from Castra, of course, but I'm just happy having an ethereal dog spinning around me. On a similar vein, I imagine paleontologists going crazy over you, literally riding a dinosaur. You don't need Cogmos kit to vomit, my dude. Okay, there's a lot to unpack with this one. First of all, the clone only pops out when you're severely injured. Secondly, the first cast of distortion is a dash, meaning it doesn't go through walls. You can still do creative stuff with it, but it's not as good as Arcane Shift or Rift Walk. Thirdly, Ethereal Chains is only for binding, not for pulling stuff to you like a Blitzcrank hook. Lastly, Mimic would be much better on a different kit. Overall, kind of limited. Imagine a Muay Thai fighter with insect mechanics. You're gonna need one of these to use any ability, honestly. I wouldn't want to cause a local Ice Age then die immediately with your ultimate. I'm going with the tiny Ice Shard auto attacks. I'll be literally the coolest person at the party. His dash in the animation looks cool as heck. I want that one. I would love to have a tiny Tinkerbell follow me around, why not? All of her abilities are about making light. Flashlights are useful because they last for until the battery runs out. Your abilities don't, unfortunately. But I'm gonna give the best ability award to Prismatic Barrier, because at least it gives a shield as well as light. Alright, I'm gonna cut this video short a bit. Definitely underestimated how long the entire video is gonna be. Don't worry, part 2 coming out in a bit, you weasels. Comment down below which champions kit you'd want to have. While you're down there, why not like and subscribe too? Anyways, that's it. Salamat at mag-ingat kayo.